Hi everyone, I'm Carol Keller, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Illinois in the United States, and I'm here for my usual Tuesday afternoon live. We are using the Cheerful Daisies bundle today again, like we did last week, with some other items, one of which I can't seem to find right now, which is some ribbon, and it should be right here in front of me, and I've been looking and can't find it. So we will be making it without the ribbon today, but I think it's still going to be a pretty card even without it. Hopefully you'll like it too. We're going to turn around right away and get started with this card. I think you'll like it. So here we go. Let me first show you, this was the one from last week, and this is the one from this week, and look at how different they are. Completely different. I love it. So I'm going to take this one out of the way because we did that one last week. Check out my video if you missed it. And this is the card for today. And I love this ribbon. It's Moody Mauve, one of our new in colors. And I can't find it anywhere, so. Oh, I found it. Oh, excellent. I looked here and I didn't see it, but now I see it. Excellent. So we can complete the card. Love it. That was a happy accident. All right, let's get rolling with the card. We are starting with a basic white card base. Usual A2 size. And I'm going to grab my bone folder. It is such a nice day here today. I love it. The windows are open. It's sunny. I'm gonna go for a walk later. Love it. And now I've cut the designer series paper already. So the first one is 2 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. That's gonna go here. And they're all from that daisy paper, which is called Fresh as a Daisy. And hopefully I'll remember to show it to you at the end. And then the next one is 1 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. And then this one, last one, is 3/4 inch by 5 1/2 inches. And so it will span the whole card. So it looks like we have this beautiful colored card front, which we do. And on the inside it's white so you can write on it. So I'm going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue. And we want to make sure that the daisies look upright. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit directional, I think. Yeah, that looks good. And then make sure it's on this edge. Oh, we got it. Whoops. Move it a little bit. Now I moved it too much. Let's try that again. Try that again. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll do the same thing with the other two. And I purposely kind of cut them just a tiny bit longer than I needed so that I figured it was easier to go back and trim it down than it was to find out that it didn't quite reach. So that's a little tip that you can do to be sure, because again, you can always go back and trim it. All right, what do you think of those colors? This is that Moody Mauve, and this one is Wild Wheat, and they are both in colors. And we're going to be using also copper clay, which is this, and that is also an in color. All right, so we've got the base of our card, and I think maybe we'll stamp the inside first. Let's do that. So the sentiment on the inside is going to say, your friendship means everything, and it comes from that Cheerful Daisies set. And we're going to, I think I did it in Moody Mauve, yeah. Well, maybe we'll do the same. We'll do Bubble Bath on the inside this time for the sentiment, and then that way the flowers will be in Moody Mauve and I won't have to clean in between. So I think we'll do that. So let's get our sentiment. And then while we've got the Bubble Bath, actually we won't finish the inside right away. We'll do some other stamping. We are going to stamp the daisy on the in Bubble Bath, on Bubble Bath, one of the daisies from the set. And then that gets cut out. Let's do it here. And then we're also going to cut out this larger die, this to make the label, that comes from the Something Fancy dies. Then I already cut out, which I already did that, I'll bring that in. And then I've cut out also the next, there's a smaller one so that they are going to layer together. And on this one we're going to stamp Nothing Fancy, Just Love, which comes from the Something Fancy stamp set. So we'll move that and bring the other one in. Oops. flying stamps. So we're going to stamp that in Bubble Bath. And I'm going to do it toward the top so we can put those flowers underneath. So that's purposely toward the top a little bit. And then we need, I have a scrap here of basic white. And on this we're going to stamp the little daisy, another daisy from the set, also in Bubble Bath. And we'll cut that out, which actually I've already done. And for the center, so I think that's everything with the, oh, and one more thing with the Bubble Bath. That's right, we have, remember last week we cut out, there were 3 dies, or 1 die, I should say, that cut out 3 flowers, and we used 2 of them on last week's card, and I said, save the other one for this week, so here it is. And I'm using, I think I just grabbed, yeah, the smaller, well, I'll use the bigger one since I have it. So we're going to do, this is the center for this flower, and we're going to stamp that in copper clay in here. But first we're going to use it. I'm going to bring in a scrap. Let me just grab that because we're going to go over the edge here. And we're going to stamp that right here just to give it some color. So now I think our Bubble Bath is done. So let's get that out of the way. And we'll bring in the copper clay because we just need that quickly for that daisy center. So I'm going to clean it really quickly. I probably could get away with not cleaning it just because this is so much darker than the Bubble Bath, but that's okay. We'll clean it anyway. And then this in here, I think we'll do it this way. And then this gets cut out, which of course I have already done. So I'll bring that in. And then we just need a little bit more stamping. And this time I'm going to bring in that beautiful Moody Mauve. And we're going to use that for the flowers here. So I think I'm going to bring that scrap back in as well, just in case here. And I've got the flowers. And we're going to stamp those at the bottom like this. Well, I guess it does stay all on there. Good. Depends how far up you put the sentiment, whether you have room for it, the whole set of 3 flowers on the tag or not. So keep that in mind too. And then we're going to do the same thing on the inside. Right here. I think we'll do it like, let's see, maybe like this. And there's our inside. And then I don't have an envelope handy, but I would do that also on the front left corner of the envelope. So that should be all of our stamping. And the inside is done. And so now we just need to finish assembly. And the darker color may take a little bit longer to dry. So I'm going to wait to put that. Well, I guess we need that first though, don't we? We've got to put this together. So let me get my Stampin' seal. And hopefully it is dry. It probably is. It dries pretty quickly, but sometimes those darker colors just take that little bit longer. Yeah, it looks good. And we'll layer that and center it. And then that's going to go right on the card. Oops, so the same thing. Take my seal. And bring that over here. And you see this looks darker than this one, if you notice. And that's just because it is probably not quite dry, and it will lighten up as it dries. So we'll put that here. And then I'm just layering the flowers. I got a little bit of glue, I think, underneath there. So this I'm putting up here again with seal. We are going to use dimensionals, but we're going to use it on that little daisy. So we'll put this up here. And this, I think I'll use glue dots for this. So I do have those handy today, right where I need them. I'm so glad I found that ribbon. It was driving me crazy. And then there it was, where I thought I had looked already. Of course, right? Isn't that the way it always happens? I'm going to put these glue dots on a few of the petals just to make sure that they are nice and held down nicely. So we'll put this one here. And, you know, again, my color choices, I was picking them up right from the designer series paper. And so then for this, we're going to put that ribbon behind it, that beautiful Moody Mauve textured ribbon. So I'm just cutting a section. And we'll pretty up the end, cut it at an angle. Try that one more time. Keep saying I need to sharpen these scissors, but then I don't do it. And then I have problems. All right. So for this, I'm going to bring those glue dots back in, and we're going to put a glue dot in the center to hold those two ends together like that. And then another one to go underneath the daisy. Maybe we'll put a couple. So this is going to go here. I'll move it up just a little bit. It's a little bit low. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. And then for this, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. And I've got kind of the end of a package here, so I am going to just snip off a section, maybe here. See if that's too long or not, this one. Yep, it's a little too long. Let's do this. So I want those big sturdy sections. Whoops. I'm going to put one here, overlapping that ribbon a little bit. That'll help it, stay in place. All sorts of little bits I've got extra here. And then this one should fit. So we'll put this over here. And that'll be enough to hold the ribbon in place and hold the whole thing onto the card. Take the little backings off. And then we'll put it, let's see. Ooh, I wasn't thinking ahead about the ribbon though. Maybe we'll trim that ribbon down. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. So I want the daisy here, pretty much, but I want the sentiment to show. So that's why I cut it shorter on that one. So we'll do that same thing. Cut it a little shorter. See if that does it. See if that's enough. Yes. Yes, perfect. And then the last thing, of course, we have to have our bling. So I'm using the 2023 to 2025 in color dots. So these are the in colors: Pebbled Path, Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, and Boho Blue. And so I'm picking up the colors that are in here. So let me grab my take your pick tool, and I did a larger one, and I used the Copper Clay because, again, that's what's in the designer series paper. Oops, let me get a little more putty here. There we go. And then that goes in the center. So the largest one goes in the center here. And then I just added Wild Wheat, a medium-sized one. And that's gonna go, I got all sorts of little bits here today. That's gonna go here. And then the beautiful Moody Mauve right here, the small one. They are stuck to that paper. And put that here. So we've picked up the colors again in the designer series paper, and we've made similar cards to what's in there. I love that. So what do you think? That is our card for today. And let me show you quickly. I'm going to move this here and I'll show you what I used to make it. So like I said, the Cheerful Daisies bundle. So here's the stamp set, and you can layer, so you can do the outline of the flower, but then you could use like this one to color it in. Just like I didn't use the outline, but I did use the inside to color that, but I could have really done it with both. And then here are the dies that go along with it. So here is that one, this is one die that cuts out 3 flowers, and so we use this one. And then the outlines of both of these to cut those out. So pretty. And then I also use the Something Fancy stamp set. I've really been using this a lot. I like the sentiments. There's quite a variety. And then they have companion dies that cut out things that you can use for labels, or, you know, to stamp your sentiments on. And yes, use as a label, and then some things to fancy them up too. So been using both of those a lot. But then of course the star of the show is that Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. So here is one of the sheets that we used today, and then we did use the back for that strip over on the left. And I'll show you the backs too, but this is the front. So pretty, and I really do like the color variety in this, and this is the one we used last week. And then this, I love this because you can make all sorts of cards. I think that's going to be my next thing, is to use at least one of these on a card because all the work is done for you. And then of course on the back, coordinating colors, and there's our Moody Mauve that we used today. I love this too though. This is definitely pretty peacock, and I think garden green or granny apple green, one or the other. Boho blue, so pretty. Or no, is it boho blue? No, it is. Yes, it is boho blue. This is Azure Afternoon. So pretty. I love both of those. And that's it. And then the ribbon, of course, and the bling that I just showed you are the other items that I used to make the card. But that is it. That is the card for today. I hope you're loving the new catalog. If you still need one, reach out if you're my customer and I will get one to you. I will be doing an open house too. I believe I'm going to do it the first weekend in June, either that Saturday or Sunday, or maybe both. So if you're on my email list, look for that. I probably will send that out in the next week or so, just kind of a save the date and let you know what else is happening at Stampin' Up. But I do plan on doing that for sure. So I will have some card samples and some of the new items that I have and whatnot, so that you can see them and pick up your catalog if you haven't. So all right, stay tuned for that, and I will see you again soon. Happy stamping.